Republican Governor John Kasich of Ohio may be nervous about the popularity of his policies and his own popularity, too, hence the effort today to squirm his landmark union stripping law off the ballot for its Ohio referendum this fall. But John Kasich is not the least popular governor in the country. For a little while this year, he and another governor were neck and neck in the race for the title. But that other governor has since surpassed John Kasich in the race to be the least liked, most despised, most unpopular governor in the United States of America. As of late June, the latest standings in the most hated governor race to the bottom show that the winner/loser is Rick Scott, who has been in the Florida governor's mansion less than a year. Rick Scott is so unpopular now that just a third of Floridians say they like the guy. If a rematch of his 2010 election were held today, his Democratic opponent would defeat him by 22 points. And just quoting the polling firm here, quote, independents say by a 45-18 margin that Governor Rick Scott has turned them off from GOP candidates in general. So how do you turn around numbers that bad? If you are Rick Scott, you start with the optics. Literally, you get a new picture. This had been the governor's official picture, according to the AP. However, as of Monday, this is the new and improved, softer, kinder, gentler Rick Scott official photo. Gone is the direct confrontational stare into the camera and the buttoned-up shirt and tie and the severe focus. In are the casual blue shirt, fuzzy focus, and sort of a squinty, pensive look off into the distance. Still on the optics, a couple of weeks back, there was this, Governor Scott working at a Tampa donut shop. The idea was that the governor would be seen around the state doing regular people jobs to show that he knows, I don't know, how to serve donuts. Sadly for the optics here, though, the governor's donut photo op turned into the wrong kind of photo op when a progressive group opposed to Rick Scott's policies showed up to symbolically fire the governor over and over and over again at the donut shop, handing him pink slips right over the donut counter. When Rick Scott created a pro-Rick Scott, isn't he so awesome form letter for people to send into local newspapers, that same anti-Rick Scott group created a Mad Lib using the form letter. So instead of the gist being Rick Scott is so awesome, it became Rick Scott is so insert your own adjective here. The governor's latest effort to climb out of his 33% approval ratings hole is an old standby in politics. He's using robocalls. But for the first time anybody can remember, Rick Scott isn't using robocalls at election time. These robocalls are in the middle of his term to just try to make people like him more. But again, the enterprising anti-Rick Scott progressive group in Florida is on the case. They have figured out a way to reverse the robocalls, to let Floridians record their own calls to Governor Scott's office. And they are spectacular.
Yeah, Governor Rick Scott. You got a lot of nerve spending $250,000 of our tax dollars to robocall people and tell them how good a job you're doing. You're the worst governor Florida's ever had. I've been here for 30 years.
Please stop those annoying phone calls.
You keep cutting jobs, you're cutting unemployment, you're cutting Medicaid, you're cutting Medicare, you're cutting Social Security. What happened to your paycheck?
Governor Scott, please stop calling me.
Rick Scott, I don't appreciate what you've done to my retirement plan as a state employee. I hope that we never have to see you for governor in a second term.
Hi, Rick. I just wanted to return the favor of the robocall to you. Thank you so much for screwing up the state that I was born in.
I really can't believe that you cut PBS, of all things. My kids sit around and watch PBS in the early morning. They learn so much from it. And to have the state cut funding for PBS is despicable.
My name is Lisa, registered Republican. I would really appreciate that the robocalls stop. It gets to be a bit much after a while, and knock it off.
Florida Watch Action are the folks behind PinkSlipRick.com. There's the people who are facilitating these reverse robocalls back to the governor's office. That's the political tactical innovation of the day, okay? I don't give awards, but if I did, you'd win that one. It almost makes you want to look away, just a few feet off to the side into unfocused middle distance, squinting.